Hey guys, it's Tuesday, and that means it's time for my next leadership video. Seeing as how patch 4.2 dropped today, I want to talk about that and what it's like going into a new tier for leaders. And of course everybody. So here's what's going on. 4.2 just released, meaning tier 12 raid is out. That is, Firelands. There's only 7 bosses in it, but still 7 bosses is enough to challenge your raid if you're not one of the top end raiders in the world. Now what that means for leaders is new content. All your raiders will be very excited to get into new content. However, it means it's harder content because it's newer content, and it means that you still need to gear up for it. Now if you're not already geared for it, it will pose a challenge for you, I guarantee it. And a lot of people are going to expect it to be at the same difficulty level as the previous tier. Now that, depending on your gear level, is true. However, the mechanics are different, there's new fights, people have to learn them, it's a whole new start over thing. Now with that in mind, your raiders are going to be upset from time to time, but are also going to enjoy the new idea of a new raid. Leaders, expect that. Expect them to be happy one moment, and then when it doesn't go so well, unhappy the next moment. It's what's going to happen, but you just have to tolerate it, bear with it, and expect it, and just get through it. Going into a new raid is always a challenge, whether it's the first raid in the tier, or it's the last raid in the tier, or you've been raiding forever but have never done a certain raid. It's always a challenge. It's going to take teamwork, okay, to go into it. Recruiting now is a great time. There's a new raid. Make sure all your raiders go and get the new gear from, not Valor points, but, Justice points, now that you can get full epics out of it. Make sure they get that for their main spec first, and then have them slowly work towards it for their off spec. That way they're still raid viable in both specs. It's a great idea. Along with that, there's new fights to learn. So you need to make sure your raiders are learning those new fights if you're going to jump into the content right away. And also remember, it's not bad to still go back to the old content. There's still a lot of gear that can be had there. And they have nerfed the normal mode tier 11 raid fights and encounters, so it's not a bad idea to go there and do them at all. However, you might want to start trying those heroic modes once you gear up a bit more, as those have not changed. But you should be able to outgear them very soon, so they won't be quite as much of a challenge. But remember, heroics are not trivial either, so you will need to still work at them. Now, if you're a really good guild, this new raid shouldn't pose that much of a problem for you. You should be able to get through it with the first couple of weeks on normal modes. However, heroic modes are probably going to be a lot harder. Just looking through the fights on normal mode, a lot of them don't seem like that much of a challenge for people with common sense and a good leader, and strong players. But for those who aren't strong players and aren't very fast learners, there are a couple learning curves that need to be passed, and that it can be a challenge. But either way you look at it, this new raid tier is going to be great for all guilds, because that means the old raid tier is easier, meaning even if you can't go into this new raid yet, you can still do the older raid, and all your alts are going to have an easier chance doing the older raids and gearing up with justice points now. So it should be a good time. The same rules apply for leading a raid, as it always has. Hopefully you've checked out my raid leader training videos if you haven't already. They're on my channel. They have their own little playlist, Raid Leader Training, the new one, not the old one. I did update it, and there are 7 videos out instead of 10. And they do the same thing, plus they're scripted this time, so they're a lot easier to go through it. And aside from that, I've not told you yet, but since this is my first WoW video since I've been in it, let me scroll in if I can. My stupid little scroll mouse wheel is messed up a bit. But anyway, whoopsie doodles. There we go. I am now in Clowns on Fire. Hopefully I'll get to stay. They seem to like me. I'm doing fairly well, and I'm one of their main tanks now. So there you go. And recently in raids, I've gotten the shield from Nefarian. Cho'Gall got me the shoulders. I bought my legs today. I got my ring yesterday. I got a trinket as a drop from Velion and Fhraelaok yesterday. I got an off-spec ring, here it is, yesterday as well. That means I don't need that anymore. So I've got epic rings for my offset. And yeah, and I'm pushing a 359 item level right now, which is pretty darn awesome in my completely honest opinion. And in a couple new quests here, or at least in one, I should be able to get a new cape, I think. So that'll be interesting. It's the new Thrall quest, and I should be able to just go and do that now. I think. I'm not really sure. So I'll have to check that out. And on my gear that I need to get is still a weapon. I'm still using a blue weapon. I'm still using a blue helm. And I'm still using a blue ring. Those are my three main upgrades, as they're still 346 blues. But once I get past that, I will be good to go. Anyway, not much of a leadership video today, guys. I just wanted to talk about the new 4.2 patch that came out, and wish you all a lot of luck in it whenever you guys get into it. It's always worth a try. Even if it doesn't go very well, it's always worth trying something new. And remember, it is a brand new patch, meaning there will be glitches, and there will be lag, and all that good stuff, and it may end up crashing on you. It happens. So, yeah. Just try to deal with it and understand it. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to thumbs up and subscribe. Enjoy your new raid and the new patch, and I will see you in the next video.